we're trying to do is train you as employees, make you better, and then put you out on the job and see how it's going. All right, I think what we have here is, quickly counting, we have about 8 of our 10 work experience students working both in Careers 101 and seminar class and doing work experience outside of school. This would be the first group of students in our school that have been doing this, regular education students that have been doing this. Guys, can you talk about, any of you volunteer any information of how this has gone for you? Pros and cons of doing something like this you could talk about?
Made money and go to school.
Why was that important for you?
I need to work and go to school.
I like it because it's super flexible for me. I don't have to work at 10:30 at night anymore. I can get done. I can work a 1 to 7 and still get home and eat dinner with my family.
I liked it because I could learn about stuff that I couldn't normally learn in school.
Great answer. For instance, like what?
Like from working with this program, I was able to learn how to work with fiberglass and whatnot, and how to do body work and all this, and a little bit of diesel mechanics and whatnot.
Stuff that you're more interested in.
Yeah.
I like it because you can go at your own pace.
How?
And if you're having a bad day, just do it on the weekend or something. You don't have to get it done in that hour like you do in a classroom or something.
And she brings up a good point, is that even if you're sick, you can still work on it.
Why don't you guys talk a little bit, each one of you kind of tell them who you are, where you work, and kind of maybe what your future plans are.
Hi, my name's Sam, and I work at a trucking place called NAFCO. And I'd like to become something in that, like polishing or truck driver or something like that. And I know we do a lot of body work and diesel mechanic work, and we're all kind of slowly learning on that. So I think this program is really going to help me out in my future life after high school.
I am lead lifeguard at the local YMCA in Elk River. So I manage about 25 lifeguards and make sure that they're doing their job. And in my future, I would like to own my own business with hair and cosmetic tattooing. So managing lifeguards now will help me manage a business.
I'm Olivia, and I work at Princeton McDonald's. I pretty much work with like crew members and managers and just kind of get customers food up. Sometimes help the new people learn how to do a certain job. After high school, I want to go to Rochester and then eventually work on like communications with others.
My name is Michaela, and I am a manager at McDonald's. I deal a lot with customers, and I know everything at the store. What I would like to see myself doing in the future is serving in the Air Force.
I'm Lance, and I work at a trucking company called NAFCO, and we do pretty much anything they need, such as cleaning trucks, inventorying them, anything like that, or if they need help at the diesel mechanic shop, we'll go over there and help them out. We'll do just about anything. And when I get older, I'd like to be a welder and a fabricator.
My name's Brad, and I also work at NAFCO, and we do a lot there, and I learn how to do body work and stuff. And when I get older, when I get out of the military, I want to have my own business with body work, painting, and such.
My name is Brad Brosco. I work at Jiffy Lube in Monticello. Pretty much what I do there is I change oil. Yeah, high school. I joined the Marine Corps.
My name's Evan, and I work at Angino's in Zimmerman, and I'm a cook, make pizza, and I'm gonna get trained to do grill and pasta, and I want to use that as a stepping stone after I get out of high school to join the Army.
How has working out there and working through this program, can somebody, one of you, two of you, talk about how this program has helped you in any way?
I've been here earlier because of this program. You can go work more, and then more time at work learning how to do the body work will help me in advance to get my own business up and going.
So it's a training you were doing on the work site.
Yeah.
Well, another advantage of this program is once you leave early, obviously you get to work earlier, and that does adjust your schedule quite a bit. So I mean, people who are are good family spenders at home when not to still have time to spend time with their family. So
Being able to have a more flexible school schedule, for me that I tend to get here a bit later in the day, and I used to have a really big problem with sleeping in class. That was a really big issue, and this new solution has pretty much completely rectified it. I haven't been sleeping in class at all, so I get a lot more time put into my studies and my schoolwork, and that's been working out a lot for me.
Has anybody else besides Evan seen an improvement in their grades? As far as
I have more like opportunity to like do other classes also and like spend more time like focusing on them and like doing the homework pieces of them and being able to do a little bit of both here and there. So.
If you weren't doing this semester, what do you think the semester would have been like for you?
Ooh, well, I
way different.
coming to school for 6 hours seemed like the longest day for me for some reason, because then right after work or right after school I would work out for an hour and then go to work till 10:30, and it would be a repeat for 5 days, and I just thought it was the longest week of my life, and it was just stressful, and I had to take on homework and all this stuff, so doing online really made it a lot more flexible for me and a lot less stress.
It would have essentially been the same thing it was before. I would have been sleeping in every class. My grades would have been all Fs. It just would have probably been a never-ending vicious cycle that I probably wouldn't have had a very good outcome with. And I'm actually really grateful with this program being there. And I think it was probably the one thing that saved me and my graduation potential.
I would have got put into classes I did not even want to take and I wouldn't be interested in, and I knew I probably wouldn't do as good because I'd be forced to have to take the classes. So I thought this was like a good alternative.
I would have to agree with that too, because now I don't have to take all these classes that I really don't want to take to make myself graduate. Now I can do something that I'm really into, such as diesel mechanics, and I can do that to graduate instead of something like another math class or something.
what improvements would you like, or what things do you see next year that would be added to this program that would make it even better than it was for you this year for kids next year? What would you like to see different?
Maybe talking to companies that you'd like to work for. Maybe even bring in a speaker at a certain, like, say, gym or machine shop or any type of field that you want. And they could start talking to you and the whole class about what you want to do, how you can do it, how they did it.
That or like working on like applications to like help get a feel for how to do those in the future, and I also think a little bit more like interaction with like amongst us.
So the days that we spent here around the table, were those worthwhile discussions that we had?
Yeah.
Would you guys have a problem with having any of the school board members come in and talk to you, or see what you're working on that?
Sure.
So we can make an open invitation to those folks, to come on in and see what we're doing. Chelsea Kimpton came back to us here at Zimmerman. She's part of the online pilot program, and she was in an online school before. So Chelsea, why don't you tell me a little bit about why you came back here to Zimmerman, how it's gone for you, because you're kind of taking the online pieces and you're doing a few classes here at school, and things you're looking forward to if you're looking at doing this again next year, and maybe then some things we could improve on.
I came back because there was some issues at home and my parents really wanted me to be more social. For me, this was a way to balance the social piece with my schoolwork because I'm not one of those most sociable persons. To me, it was better than just jumping into 6 classes a day with 30 plus kids in them.
What positives have you seen when you compare this to being just online? How do you feel? How does it work for you?
For me, it's a lot less lonely. There's other kids this way, whereas the other one I was sitting in the house in the 4 walls and didn't get any social at all.
What things do you think we could do differently here to improve the program?
One thing would be more assignments, less assessments, or the assignments before the assessments, so that you actually know that, hey, I actually understand this before going and taking a test. A teacher that actually like knows the material really well, right there.
Okay. Has it helped having somebody there though? Just period?
Yeah, like knowing that there's somebody there if you need it is really nice versus sending out an email and having 24 hours, 48 hours go by before you actually get a response.
It's nice to have somebody here, but you'd like Mr. Jost to be smarter. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, that's what you can say that.
But what you'd like actually is a little more contact with some content experts.
Like a chemistry teacher or like a math teacher or
Yeah.
whatever.
You think the program should be attached to the high school, meaning separate but kind of right there? Or should it be, across the road from the high school, or just totally separate downtown?
For convenience, for something like I'm doing, it'd be helpful if it was either right here or across the road.
Because of the blended approach that you're doing.
Yeah. But for other kids, some kids don't even want to go near schools, like at all.
What's the attraction to this then?
Because I don't have to deal with like people, like,
Okay.
and I had issues with like most of my teachers.
Program has allowed you, it's more of a,
More freedom, I guess, like to do it on my own time. Still is like a ton of pressure to like get
Yeah.
it done. I feel pressure, but it's like it doesn't feel like the end of the world, and like
Okay.
I don't have, I mean sometimes you yell at me for not doing it, but like I don't have. Like,
okay, let's clarify for the camera. I've never yelled at you.
Jost doesn't yell.
Uh,
I didn't do my math. She would like act like it was the end of the world,
Okay.
like whatever.
Okay.
And our grade would drop too.
Yeah, like dramatically.
Okay. Last semester, on any given day, would you say that you had like anxiety or you felt anxious?
Yeah.
And that was because of the social implications, not the academics.
Yeah. Like there was some like the tests and stuff.
Yep.
But it was more like people like I don't know, just like
Okay.
the people.
So now, how does that feel? I mean, because I know you still have some regular, traditional classes. So do you still feel that way when you go to those classes?
Yeah.
Or has
yeah,
it
a little
lessened?
bit. It's lessened a lot because I don't have so much pressure, but it's still there.
Okay. What if this program were not in the building? What if it were somewhere else?
I would go follow it wherever it went.
Okay.
I would
Do you, what would you like about that? Or what do you think you would like about that?
I would like how like you wouldn't hear everybody
Yeah.
passing by and stuff
How
like
it
for
would be
passing
so
time.
separated from
Okay.
Like you'd be with everybody that's in Apex, right?
Right.
So you would be around like people that get what you
Are
like that
doing.
you're where like people here are like don't really understand that we
Yeah, because
take
like
online
if you try to
classes.
explain it,
Do
like,
you talk to other students? Do you get questions? Do they ask you like?
Yeah, they ask, especially in Avid, like, because we have to do like tutorials
Yep.
where we have like questions that if we have questions that need answered, well, I have to like if I have any like Apex questions, I have to go through in detail. I get a lot of questions about it and like how it works and stuff.
What's their reaction?
They say that they really want to switch out of their regular class.
Explain what you mean when you say easier, because that could mean a lot of things to a
Well,
lot of different people.
It's not necessarily like easier. It's just not like I don't want to put that.
Is it the way that it's delivered?
Yes.
It's easier to
It's like-
learn and
Do you feel like any of the courses that you take in Apex, do you feel like you can cheat it?
No.
Is there any way to get around the system of not doing the material and still passing the quizzes and tests?
no, not
No.
really.
Okay.
If you don't
You
take
have to do.
You still have to
Yeah.
do
You have
it,
to
right?
if
have
you
that
don't do the
material.
study guides, you kind of like you get to the test, you're like, what? Because
Yeah.
there's like one study guide I didn't like. I was kind of paying attention
Yep.
to it, but I wasn't. And then I realized how much I didn't pick up from it. But then I
Okay.
went through it and
Same here.
used
Okay.
the study guide and people find out that we do Apex
Yeah,
and
and
stuff.
they like
They like talk about how much
Joining.
easier it would be and like how
How do you respond to them when they say that? What do you say?
we like.
well.
We try to tell people that it's not like easier. It's still like
it's
the
just
same
different.
amount.
different.
It's different. It's not necessarily easier, but it's not harder either.